guy is actually a cyberjack because he
Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Dave, and I am joined tonight by our illustrious GM for Vast Grimm, and that is Brian Colin. We also have Stephen Partridge in the house, and Megan or Miller in the house. I'm sorry, Robin Miller
You're
in
good.
the house as well, and Carlos, and of course Nerdarchist Ted. And we're doing something a little bit different tonight, and we are starting off on a virtual spaceship in the game, but not in the game yet. Why don't you take it away, Brian, and explain to people what the heck are we doing tonight?
Sure. So we're testing out this platform that we're going to be having a online convention Wormfest in November 12th and 13th. And it's going to be a place where people can come hang out, play games, see panels, and all that. So we're going to actually play in here where we'll be playing in just a couple of weekends. And so we'll be playing Vast Grimm in just a couple of minutes. But before that, I want to just take a quick tour around the spaceship where the actual online convention will happen. Now, the background, the spaceship itself, is one of our light cruisers from the Vast Grimm universe. Dave, are you cool with me walking around?
Yeah, let's see. Yes, everyone, or yeah, you go ahead. You can walk around, and I will follow you.
Okay. Everybody else, if you want to stay here, you can. Just when we come back and we're ready to start playing, just make sure you're in one of these purple seats because, as you notice, the background is kind of grayed out, and the while you're in these seats, we're actually in a game together. So when, like, if it were a convention atmosphere, other people wouldn't be able to jump in and hear what's going on at the table. It would just be us having a private game. So here we go. We're in game room one, and I'm going to just kind of walk around now. The game itself that we're going to be playing, Vast Grimm, is not all cutesy like this platform, but this platform for Gather is pretty fantastic. You can see, even when you start to get jammed up with people, you can turn invisible and walk around through people. We have help desks and different game rooms for open gaming, for where there will be games set up. We have a couple of lounges. All you have to do is kind of go through these halls, wander around, and they've got it set up so they're following me. So they'll keep scrolling along. We've got some different little pop-ups where if you press X, you'll be able to see the schedule of events and see the map. We have a vendor hall on the right, a hall on the left that's going to be more for when there's actual panel discussions. And so if we wanted to really show, like, for when we have lots of things to present to everybody. And we're also going to have an art show down below. And that's pretty much the tour of the ship. You have seen the ship. So how about we go and start gaming? Scrolling back up, working our way back up to game room one. But this should be a really fun way to kind of interact. And you'll see that when you're away from people, you can't see them on video. But as you start to get closer to them, the video occurs. So let's see, let's move into a seat. Okay. And so here we are at the table, and it's just like as if we were at a table together. And here we can click on each other and have big views in the screen mode, so we can really see each other like you were in Zoom or any other sort of video conferencing. But this is a kind of fun way to walk around and get to know your fellow gamers.
Awesome, Brian. Thank you for the tour. And with that, we're going to jump in, and Brian is going to be running Vast Grimm for us, which is a sci-fi horror game that has been hacked off of or out of Mork Borg.
Yes. And so, real simple rule system. All of you have played Mork Borg or Vast Grimm, so we're not going to go into the rules. That'll Anybody that's watching will be able to pick that up as we go because it's super simple. But for the setting, since not all of you have played in Vast Grimm, it's been 663 years since the Six. The Six were religious zealots that went and unlocked this ancient evil from the mausoleum of Ve. And when they opened the doors using their magical tributes to combine its forces to open it up, these parasitic worms flew out and into each one of them. Then the six traveled across the universe, spreading the word of Fatuma and they. And as they were infected, they infected others. And as the infection spread, these worms grew inside of people. And some people survived, some people were overcome, and most of them became the Grimm. And the Grimm are kind of zombie like creatures, but have some sort of hive mind mentality. And all they're trying to do is destroy the universe. They want these giant worms to keep growing, get bigger, consume planets, and it's been such a long time, there's not a whole lot of humanity left, and those who are left are trying to either find pieces of this rumored gate of infinite stars that they believe can be put together to be built to get what's left of humanity out of this universe into another one, or they're trying to fight back against the Grimm, or maybe they're just trying to survive another day. For whatever reason, the five of you are part of a legion. Legions at one point were military factions, but now it really just means any group of people that are willing to band together. You've probably been together at least 3 weeks. As I mentioned before we got on stream, from your roles, you were on an old space bus called the Galactic Intervention. Why don't you tell each other a little bit about what the rest of the Legion would know about who you are, having been together for at least 3 weeks or maybe a little bit longer. And also from this, we'll decide who would actually be piloting this ship, because one of you would have to actually be flying it.
I have a plus
go
2
ahead.
presence for piloting.
Okay.
If anyone has anything better.
Cool. And it may be your domineering personality that says, I'm the only one that's going to pilot this ship as well. So I'm going to go with the order that I see you all in. So Stephen, will you tell us about Cyrus or Sirius or however you want to pronounce it?
Sure. So Cyrus Greeter is a early 20-somethings, super pale skinned, really lithe, really lanky sort of individual. He has this cut off shirt that's black and has stitches all over it to sew up the different holes that it's had from his various accidents. He's a little reckless, a little bit easily distracted. He has a severe phobia of insects because he always squashes any sort of insect he sees. He has no idea what a worm looks like, mind you, but he is just so incredibly scared of encountering one of them. Otherwise, yeah, he's all about the tech. He loves being in technology, loves working with it. He's actually got this a neon hollow screen that pops up from one of his augments that he'll just thumb through. And it's not actually social media, but he's basically made makeshift social media with 10 different personalities that he's come up with on his own that kind of all interact with each other.
Fantastic. And Dave, you want to tell everybody what they would know about Torch?
Sure. I'm playing Torch, and he wears just basically really raggedy, smudged kind of mechanic overalls, and he's got different tools poking in and out of various pockets, and he's dirty, dirt under his fingernails. I mean, he looks like he just came out of the mechanics bag. And one of the things most notable about him is Borg. Borg is a little cybernetic winged bat or winged rat that is usually hanging around on his shoulders or scurrying up and down his coveralls, or hanging out in one of the pockets, if not down in front of it. He's never seen without Borg, or of course his trusty double-sided bang stick.
Excellent. And Robin, tell us about Bert.
I am Bert. I am a robot. I am sitting in my corner. I have a very human hoodie on over my carapace. I have the hood pulled up tight so that my glowing face does not disturb anyone if they are trying to sleep. Also, I have talked to you very little. Do not perceive me. Pass.
Excellent. And Ted, what about Era?
Era Slime Wump. This is an old grizzled veteran. Has been around a while, but he kind of tends to almost like Bert, tries to go unnoticed. The shadows is more where you'll find him more often than not. But he's easily distracted. If you get into combat, he's pretty damn brutal. But there's just something about him that in any of the fights that we've gone into, enemies don't seem to attack him. Maybe it's the fact that he's missing an ear. He tells you that it was, from a bet, but it could have, from a lost bet, but it could have very well been from combat. Who knows? But he's a scrapper, and when he does take off his riot helmet, he tends to stay away from Cyrus because he's definitely scratching at his scalp quite often, and occasionally, bug or two will fall off the scalp.
Excellent. And Carlos, what about Jacob?
Well, Jacob Banks is that type of man who, in his last Legion, were just the sorriest sons of SOBs you ever seen in your life. And, as long as it means getting the job done, Jacob will make sure not a damn worm or even one of his comrades gets in the way.
Excellent. So, out of you all, it sounded like from what Carlos was saying, Jacob was probably going to be the one that would be piloting this bus. Would anybody else feel like they would be the one that would want to be up on the bridge driving this thing around?
That sounds an awful lot like responsibility. I do not think so.
Maybe hanging out and giving moral support, but not as a pilot.
Excellent. Okay. One quick thing that I did forget to mention. One, it's the end of the universe. So at the beginning of each day in game, you're supposed to make a roll to see if a torment has occurred. When 7 torments occurred, the universe is over. They have consumed all, and humanity is lost forever. Because this is a one-shot, how close to the end of times do you all want it to be?
Right on the cusp.
Yep.
Right on the cusp? All right, so like a D2 sort of roll? So
sure,
50-50
let's do
chance?
it.
Okay, Dave, since you said it, how about you roll a D2 or however you want to make that happen?
That's a 1.
That is a 1, and that is a torment. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's see. I have not had... Ted, you have not rolled anything. And then everybody else rolled something earlier for the... Let's go with Robin. Will you roll a D6 as well? So Ted and Robin, each of you roll a D6. And this is going to determine... 5?
3.
You said 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why can't I find the things on the pages that I need? Here we go. 3-5, Torment, 3-5. On this night, at its darkest hour, lakes and rivers will burn like oil for 6 hours and 33 minutes. Now, whether or not this actually occurs at the location you are at, the location you're going to, it happens somewhere in the universe. And all of a sudden, across your screens, the network pops up. The network is kind of like our web, but you get it here and there, intermittent, beep, 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 torment, torment, torment. And it displays the torment that has just occurred. And you know that you are that much closer to the end of times. No matter what you believe, whether you believe that they are really trying to consume the universe, or maybe you believe in some strange hokey thing, you know that these torments, when they happen, they are real. Something awful is going on. And as that pops off, you also see coming across the network this image coming out of the bitter void, this giant space container, this massive container with unusual markings. It's like coming straight at you through the screen, it looks like. And it's something you've never seen before. A ship or a box that doesn't look like technology or language that you recognize. The markings on the side are not from this universe, and it seems to be coming out of nowhere. You know that you don't have a whole lot of money. You don't have a whole lot of options, so something new could prove valuable, whether you want to sell it to the Shit King Saul on the waste barges of Kalar, or just try and be in control of whatever's coming next.
Oh, that looks pretty shiny.
Yeah, there might be something valuable in there.
I mean, that's fair enough, but like, look at this. Like, there's a torment going on right now. It's something having to do with like fire or something. Like,
oh wow! Look, if you scroll down a little further, you can see you can get your free tickets to Wormfest if you check the description of this video.
I mean, Wormfest sounds kind of terrible because, like, doesn't that mean there's like bugs there? Like, I hate bugs. Like, if you like bugs, sure, but like, no.
So I slammed the the screen kind of. This thing always pops on. Always talk about Wormfest. It's always talk about Wormfest, man.
And worms
Like,
aren't
something
insects.
going on.
Oh, well, maybe they're all right then. I don't know. But like the worms are like bad, we don't know what a worm looks like if it's a U. Like WURM.
Son, let me tell you right now, these worms mean no joke. Okay. I seen a worm take a whole guy's head off.
What? That's nothing. I've seen a worm eat a whole moon.
I'm just looking at Era from across the bus, like, help me.
They really don't know what they're talking about.
I can see that.
Worms are tiny.
And Cyrus is just like flipping through the social media screen absentmindedly and being like, I'm very proud to say I've never seen one. That's why I don't know what they look like.
I'll look right at Aaron and say, like, listen, next time you see a man with a worm 4 inches into his skull as he's grasping out for pain, you'll believe they can rip their face right off.
Well, when the worm crawling in their face, he pulls out his own double-sided bang stick and takes the pointy end. You stick him in the face and kill the worm too.
You put that thing away, man. Come on. About to he's cramped in here enough.
So, Jacob, can you land on that thing or what?
Yeah. So immediately
what?
I start piling our way towards that.
Okay.
So what do you think's in there?
Hopefully something good. Something we can sell.
As you start piloting towards it, you're not very far from its location, which is why it showed up on screen. And looking at it, you start to assess where there might be an entry point onto it, because it does not look like a normal starship that you would see. It doesn't look like, you don't see a bridge. It almost looks like an odd-shaped like shipping container, but much, much larger, right? But it's just like a brick. As you're piloting around and getting closer and pulling readings, you do see that on either side, about halfway up, it looks like there's a connection point. Although things that are printed on the side that look like they may be in some sort of language or some sort of symbolism, it's not familiar to you. You do recognize the locking area that is pretty common on most ships, and somehow it looks like it would probably be compatible with the tubes that extend from this bus, that you could be able to connect to that vessel as well.
So we've done looting before and what have you. Do we have like empty sacks here on the ship that we could be able to take with us to go haul the loot back?
You probably have some crates or some things that you could drag along. You don't, unless you spend some money on like a hover plate or something like that. You probably don't have anything big, but you could have some makeshift fabric that works as a sack that you can use.
I've got an over-the-shoulder satchel and a fanny pack, but I got to make sure that you've got enough room for stuff.
Sure.
Oh.
I mean, you could have something.
Can I have could Cyrus try to connect with the mainframe of the starship? I have a special feature that lets me mainframe master. I can communicate with starship's internal computer systems, and the systems will follow specific commands on a DR10 presence test. And a failed test will get me locked out of the system for D8 rounds.
Gotcha. So you can try and connect remotely from where you are now from your ship, but you know that you'd probably have much better luck once you were actually on that ship, especially since it looks foreign. So it's up to you which you'd prefer to do.
So like when we get in there, can we first off, can you guys stop thinking so loud? It's really annoying. But can you guys can we go to the mainframe, that one, the mainframe, the master computer? I'd like to connect to it.
Want to get on the bridge?
I'm meanwhile intentionally thinking louder.
Bert, shut up! and he starts toying with his many piercings and just kind of fidgeting and being
So-
like, ah.
So I guess step one is getting docked up to that ship, and as I kind of settle up to Jacob, you kind of like smell and then feel my hot, putrid breath creep across your neck and cheek into your nostrils, and it just makes you want to vomit. It smells so bad. It's like the worst thing you've ever smelled in your life. It's like someone just opened up a grave in your face. You know,
God
you're
damn,
a pilot.
son.
You're a bona fide pilot, but from what I understand, a true master pilot has mastered the technique of the corkscrew.
Sir,
It's
did
a
something
legendary
crawl in your
maneuver.
mouth and die?
What?
Did some sorry animal crawl in your mouth and die as his last act?
It was a horse.
Oh.
What are you talking about? I don't smell anything. And then he takes his hand up to his mouth and
You know what? I'm literally going to corkscrew just to get him off me.
Excellent. So as you're corkscrewing, make a piloting test. That's going to be a presence. You're going to roll a d20, add your piloting to it. Add your presence, and you've got the DR on your sheet for the piloting.
Oh no, I hope something bad doesn't happen. I rolled a 1 + 2, which is a 3.
This will be the shortest stream game we have ever played.
We make extra characters, right?
this is deja vu.
A 1 is a fumble. Now, what you can do on your sheet, you have favors. Favors can save your ass. There's a number of things favors can do. They can allow you to reroll. They can negate a fumble. They can do lots of other things. But in this case, I don't know how many favors you started with. They were fresh each day. You started with 4. Now might be a good time to use one.
Yeah, I think now's a good time kind of flying a ship and whatnot into the middle of the breeze and craps. That is a lot better. 15 + 2, 17.
17. So describe what you're doing, and it will be so.
So literally what happened was, as putrid breath's getting right up my grill, I'm just like, you know what? I just kind of little corkscrew action just to get him to jump on the other side. Not to hurt anybody, but just to like, listen, man. I gotta concentrate. How's that for a corkscrew?
That's pretty good, man. Sitting on my ass, back up against the bulkhead. Double thumbs up. You're all right.
I give him a thumbs up.
Excellent. One thing I forgot to mention, will everybody roll a d4, and that's how many neuromancy points you start with for the day?
3.
If you have tributes, that's how many times you can use tributes, essentially.
So if you don't have neuromancy things, does it matter?
No, not really, unless you come across a tribute that you might want to use. So you corkscrewed in, and you, like, as you're corkscrewing, you kind of land yourself right beside where the connection point is. There's one on the left, one on the right. Which one do you want to land up against?
Righty. Okay.
You land up against the right one, and you know it's a very easy way with how you piloted to just kind of extend your. It's almost like a dryer vent that just kind of extends from the bus, or like getting onto a plane. One of those words are failing me. Anyway, one of those connectors, and you're connecting it out. And as it goes out, you notice, like, on your screen, it's like the ship is like moving almost organically. The material is kind of peeling. The metal is peeling away from the ship, and it's not in a way that you've ever seen before. It's like it's sort of some sort of biomechanical function as it's connecting to your connection port.
What the hell? Brett, Cyrus, have you guys ever seen anything like this?
You're muted.
Cyrus,
Steven.
I can't hear you. Are you lost for words?
Just call
No.
me Brett.
And sorry, I sometimes talk in my mind and like move my mouth, but I forget to do the words part, like the whole mental cybernetics thing. Anyway, like that worries me a lot, like a lot, because I've never seen anything like this. Like, I mean, I guess we won't know unless we go, though, right? It makes for a good story.
So is it our ship that looked weird or their ship that looked
Their
weird?
ship.
Their ship that looks weird. So like as your connection points coming out, it's like their ship is growing to try like wrapping itself and connecting to yours.
That's bad.
Well, I mean, that feels a little invasive, but we need to.
Well, we
make them
reached out
apologize
first.
then.
I guess it is enthusiastic consent. I walk.
You know what?
The
That's
only way
fair.
to see what they got is to check it out.
And also, I don't know how we're going to get it to let go now, so we might have to convince it.
I pull out my guns. I'll convince it. All right.
And he just kind of like puts his hand on your gun and just pushes it down just a little bit. Let's communicate with it first, right? Like talking is a good thing. So we can talk to the computer.
How much you see out here that is good to talk to?
I mean, there's plenty it's good to talk to. I've got like 10 friends on my social media.
You know, I can't wait to talk to some worms.
What is a social media?
Oh, it's
Talk
this
to the dog.
thing I built.
He
Check
talked
it
to the
out.
dog.
And
It's
he's
an
like-
app that they use to talk to birds.
Ah!
And you see there's like just these different like profiles that are made and they all have different names, but there's like one picture of Cyrus like with the mop on his head and like covering his eyes a little bit, and then there's like another picture where he's like wrapped up in like 4 of Torch's blankets, and then like, you know, just all these sort of hodgepodge things around the ship that he's used to make like different personalities.
And you say I'm messed up.
No one said that.
I feel bad
Yes,
for any
you
worms
did.
that get into him. All right, let's do this.
Or at least you thought it.
So is everyone heading to the connector?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So as you get down your tube from the bus into the where it connects to this strange container ship, you see doors that are just they are closed, but as you start to approach, even within like 15 feet, they start to open up. And from inside, there's a low greenish lighting glow, and it smells very much like some sort of rubbing alcohol. It smells very sterile and very piercing into most of your nostrils, probably not Bert's.
What the hell is
but-
that?
Something that Tor should be licking.
That is awful. Oh, I'm going to vomit.
Please do not.
Please. Please contain yourself.
The corridor itself it looks like it's about 10 feet wide. It's rounded on each side except for the floor and the ceiling. The insides have like every 4 feet just extra like rails that go up that look like structural support. It doesn't look like architecture that you've seen on any of the ships that you all have been on. As most of you have seen or experienced most of the ships that are out now, because manufacturing of ships stopped quite a long time ago. So everything out is stuff that people have seen. So it definitely looks odd and different. The floor has a strange, almost organic grate to it, but you can see like as you're about to walk onto it, you can see that it's almost got like something a few inches below it where it looks like kind of like when you step on a grate where it could get the dirt and stuff off of your boots, it would go through, and it looks like it probably has some sort of cleansing operation, like some sort of conveyor belt that must take all the filth somewhere.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. I just rub my boots on that, look at Torch and say, hey, I found something to clean your mouth with.
I don't know. I don't know if it works that way. How big is this ship compared to our ship?
It is probably 4 times as long, probably about 3 times as wide. But from what you've seen, you don't see anything that indicates like most ships have some sort of like bridge at the front where kind of like you see an area where people can look out into the cosmos and see space. This looks like a brick, like just a big metal. It's got in the center, like where you guys came in, it's got like an indentation area, but the rest of it is like a big contain, like
So it's a rectangle,
yep,
not a square.
Not a
Nope.
cube.
Not a
Nope,
cube,
not a
sir. It's actually a tetrahedron.
So basically, it looks like a giant shipping container.
Yes, yep.
I want to stand on the
And-
conveyor belt.
As you stand on it, you realize that what you're standing on doesn't actually move, but something directly underneath the grating. And ahead of you, 40 feet or so, there's another set of doors. Let me know once does everyone come in and follow onto the into the hallway?
Yes.
Okay. As you
I'm
get through,
I'm
once
dragging along the two crates that you
Yep.
said we could have.
Yep. So you're just dragging those behind you, and then once you get those two through, the door behind you closes. The green light lights up brighter, and you see the lights scanning all over, just kind of scanning you. You smell, especially Era, smell little bits of things burning, and your head starts to itch just a little bit. Hear little pops and cracks that everybody else probably doesn't hear, but being so close to your head, you hear little things dying atop your head.
Mm.
Okay.
Is this like standard protocol?
Nope.
Like, what is this?
Oh, feels weird.
Bert, you ever
don't-
seen anything like this?
If nothing in this room happens to,
No.
appear threatening in any way, shape, or form, I would take off my helmet and, shake my head.
It doesn't really appear threatening. It almost seems like a sterilization in some, like it's like they're trying to kill off any of the bad.
Then in that case, actually, yes, I used to work in a medical ward. They had things like this.
Oh.
Oh, you think it's a med ship? Oh, that should score us some good trade.
I did not say that it was a med ship. I said that this is a medical apparatus.
Yeah, med ship. You're so smart, Bart. I want to head
Thank
towards the door. All right, Borg. What do
Okay.
you think's in here?
As you head to the door, it opens after, like, since the scanning had gone on, it goes, and ahead of you, right across the hall, is another door, but there's corridors heading to your right and to your left. I will consider it, just for ease of use, it's going to be east and west.
Okay. Hold on, crew, or hold on, Legionnaires. Borg, go west, and I'll bring up a little like holoscreen so that I can look through Borg's eyes.
Semper Lateralis.
The Borg flies maybe 100 feet or so before you're seeing it coming upon in the hallway. It looks like there's a doorway at the far end, but there's also 3 doors on either side, about 10 feet apart. So it looks like there's 3 small rooms before there's another room at the end.
All right, I'll recall him and then send him to the east.
Sending to the east, same thing with 3 rooms on either side, except there is a dead end at that. There is no door.
All right, Legionnaires, dead end or big room?
Big room.
Big room.
Doesn't really sound like a choice, actually.
Never be caught in a tight spot.
Well, I mean,
there.
there's doors to that dead end, and if they don't actually go anywhere, we can sweep that clean first. And be done with it.
I mean, sure. I'll go look at it real quick. No worries. And like Cyrus will walk off and inspect the dead end real quick by himself.
Okay, as you're walking down, you take a right and you start walking down. And before getting to the dead end, there are 3 doors on either side of you. The doors themselves, they don't open on their own. There is, it looks like a push button panel on the side, like a keypad of some sort to activate the door to open it.
Okay. So he will kind of like pull up his device that's on his arm and start tapping some things and plug something in. And I would like to try mainframe master then.
Okay, go ahead and roll that. The difficulty is going to be a little different. What does it say the DR is for you with this?
10.
Okay, it's going because this is a different ship than anything that has been in the universe that you would have encountered. It's going to increase by 4. Now, one thing we talked a little bit about what favors can do. Favors can also reduce the difficulty of something by 4. So if you roll it and want to adjust it, you can always spend a favor to do that as well.
Okay, and remind me what I'm rolling again.
You're rolling a d20.
A d20.
And then you're going to add your presence modifier to this.
Okay, I have a 0 presence modifier.
Better than a negative.
I have only 1 favor, so I want to save that. So I'm going to just roll my d20 here. Actually, I'm going to roll my Nerdarchy die because that one does right by me a lot.
Fantastic.
It did right by me, 18.
18. So you are punching in and you are starting to interface and remind me again what it says it does once you're locked in.
I can communicate with Starship's internal computer systems. The system will follow a specific command on a D10 presence test or a DR10 presence test. A failed test will get me locked out of the system for 8 rounds.
So it's going to do something that you wanted to say. You're communicating with it. You are starting to realize that while you're locked in here, you can probably activate any of the doors within the ship. But even activate the engines, the bridge, things like that. Quickly scrolling through it, you see that there is a couple of freight elevators. There's some small rooms like the one that you're at now. Tell me anything that you're specifically looking for.
I would like to get a map, like just maybe screenshot it or something. So I have a map of the place that I can show my comrades, so we're all kind of on the same page and able to look at it. And then, because I presume this is exactly Cyrus's shtick whenever we go on a thing, he'll just have all the doors unlocked.
Okay.
So that's just all I'm looking for right now is just all the doors unlocked, screenshot a map.
What about a cargo manifest?
If Arrow would usually ask for something like that, then I would look for that too.
Okay. Well, let's see. I guess I don't know if I can send I can't send an attachment through the chat here, so or I would send the map. But I can. I don't know if sharing my screen will throw off all the screens that you have, Dave. Do you think it will?
It might. Well,
okay.
Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm willing to risk it.
Go big or go home, right?
Right, for the biscuit.
Let me grab this map from another thing real quick instead of showing you the PDF.
Okay.
I mean, we are playing sci-fi horror here, so go big or go home is the name of the game. Be reckless. Do stupid things.
Okay, let's see.
Be Miss Frizzle.
Here we go. Screen share and window. Okay, it did throw everything off, didn't it?
Nope, so it's okay. I've switched screens.
Okay, awesome. So there is the map that you have, and I will just leave that open. You are currently, if you look from the bottom, there's a corridor connecting down. You went up to the right, and you connected right at one of the first ones in that cluster of 6 what look like cells. And as you unlock all of the doors open, and let's see. Let's see. Carlos, do me a favor. You roll a d20.
Absolutely.
Dave, you roll a d20.
18 on the die.
18.
How do you like a 5?
Do you say a 5?
5.
Okay. Let's see. Ted, you roll a d20.
Can't tell if this is a 1 or a 4. It's a 4.
4. Okay. Robin, Steven, you do it as well.
Oh, gosh.
D20?
Yep.
6.
16.
16. Okay. In all of a sudden, let's see what all these things are as the doors open. Okay. Nope. Okay. And all of a sudden you hear a coming out of the one from the top center. The one next to it on the right, you hear a strange chittering as bone against bone starts scraping. The one in the bottom, the first one down below the bottom left, you hear someone go, "Oh, I'm free! I'm free! Thank goodness!" And that is all that you hear out of the 6 cells that have been opened up. And roll a d6, Stephen.
Okay.
This is going to be initiative because all of a sudden you opened up all these cells and some things are going to be coming out, and you'll get to determine what you do before anything else.
So Brian, looking at this map,
you're not seeing this yet though, because you're not up with him, right? Nobody followed.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
I'm just trying to place where we are. So like on the bottom, there's a hallway facing down. That's where we're at. And
that's where you came in from the bottom on the bottom, just to the right of the indentation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you were at that crossroads, right? Okay. And then Cyrus went to the right to where the cluster of 6 cells are.
Okay.
That are all together.
Brian, would it be okay to say that Borg is down there with him?
Yes, that's totally okay.
So I've got my screen up and I'm kind of pointing and Legionnaires, I think we got a problem. Or at least I should say Cyrus has a problem.
What'd you roll for initiative?
2.
Okay, so with this on a 1 to 3, the enemies begin. So they're going to get to go before anything else. As that happens, you see, like, standing the one center one above you, all of a sudden this giant hellhound-looking beast with 2 big, large back legs, 2 smaller almost like shorter arms with these pinchers on either side with 6 eyes and no flesh comes bursting out. It's got saliva just spitting everywhere, and it looks like it has been wasting away. It is hungry. It's got these giant horns. You may know this as what's known as a Hunden Fiend, and it just leaps out and turns to you. Or not. Sorry, I'm thinking the wrong. Well, that's okay. Yeah, it leaps out and just starts gnashing its teeth. Its tongue spills out. Its tongue forked, starts whipping in the air, and it tries to bite you. You're going to have to roll an agility test.
Okay. I have a 3 agility.
Oh, that's great.
All right, that's 17 plus 3, dirty 20.
Nice. It tries to chomp down at you, and you easily move out of the way. The same time that came out, you see crawling out of the cell in the corner, the upper corner, a Salzarite, which is like a giant cave cricket spider thing that's probably about this big. Not like a gigantic one, but it starts climbing its way out and working its way up onto the walls as it looks around and starts looking all around the hall. Now let's do individual initiative. You're going to roll a d20 and add your agility to it, and then we'll know who gets to go when, especially since everybody else is seeing on the tablet what's going on.
17.
Nat 20, baby.
I got a 5.
I have a -2, so 10.
10, okay.
What is it, a presence check?
No, agility.
Oh, so 17.
Okay, so, Era, what are you doing with the 20?
So I see a thing that's trying to bite at Cirrus, and then there was another insect, kind of crawling out.
Yep.
All right. Well, can I fire my shotgun at the creature trying to bite Cyrus, or is it?
Yep.
Is he blocking the way?
I mean, it's a 10-foot wide hall. I think you can probably aim for it and see what happens.
I don't know ranges. Do I have to move up, or am I good from here?
Nah, you're okay from here. So this is because it's aimed. It's going to be a presence test since it's a distance.
Okay. I have all presence and toughness tests have their DR reduced by 2.
Yes. Okay.
So what am I looking for?
Yeah. The standard hits a 12, so that would be a 10 that you're looking for.
So I rolled. I think it's a 16. So 17.
Excellent. You hit. Would you like to roll the damage?
Absolutely. That is going to be 2. And I'm down a shell.
You blast a little bit into this hellhound thing, and it's like, "Rah!" And you see it like distracted as it looks down the hall to try and see what just got it. That brings us to, let's see, was it Bert and Torch both got a 17?
Go right ahead, Dave.
Okay, I'm going to follow up with a shotgun blast on my own. Bam, puppy. Ooh, that's a dirty. No, I'm not sure if that's a 16 or an 18. But either way, it's either an 18 or a dirty 20. So
that hits. Roll the damage.
My vast Grimm dice have fancy numbers on them, and I have old eyes. That's a 7.
7 damage. Whoa, nice. That you see a big chunk of the flesh, like it's got exposed flesh because it's got no skin. You see some of the musculature just rip right off of it, and it lets out this horrible billowing howl. Bert, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna throw a bone because I have throwing bones.
Excellent.
Okay, and now it says with presence plus 10 bones / stars. Does that mean that there are 10 bones, or does that mean that I'm adding 10 to the roll? Because that seems excessive.
No, so that's how many you start with. So you would
Okay,
start
that's
with
what I
10
thought.
plus your presence, yeah.
Good.
But it is a presence roll for throwing because it's a ranged thing.
That is going to be 12.
12 does hit. Roll the damage.
Eep. 4.
You see the bones fly through the air and sink into this fiend hunt, and it is going to. Will you roll a d12 for me and let me know what you get? Or I'm sorry, yeah, that works. D12 is fine.
I got a 1.
Okay. Nothing that you know of occurs. And then let's see. That brings us to Jacob.
Have you tried talking to it, Cyrus? As I load off with my semiotic pistols. Fires 2 bullets per round.
Excellent. Roll a presence test to try and hit.
I wrote a Uno, so I'm going to use another. Listen, baby. This is the time to do it, right?
Right.
Right in combat. That's much better than that 20, baby.
Excellent.
2 extremes.
Okay. So you're going to do double damage. Also, with natural 20s like this, it also does double damage, and it reduces their armor by a tier if they're wearing armor. But this creature doesn't have armor, so it doesn't reduce it. But
okay. So 1 bullet is hitting for 3 plus 5. 6, 7, 8. And you said double damage, so
yep.
I rolled twice again.
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can either roll twice or you can double it, whichever you prefer.
I'm just gonna roll twice. 2 plus 2 is 4, and again 4 again.
You just unload in this thing, and all of a sudden, like bits and pieces just splatter all over the place, and parts of them fly all over Cirrus as well. Cirrus, will you do me a favor and roll a toughness test?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a DR. You're going to roll a D20 and add your toughness to it.
Okay, well, I have a 0, so that's a 15.
Okay. Bits and like there's chunks and blood and stuff just all flying all over you, and it's just covering you. There is still, like, even through all of this, you see that spider-like creature crawling onto the ceiling area. And what are you going to do?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, because I have a phobia of bugs and believe that all insects are worms, you hear this wildly high pitched shriek just bellow from his throat, and he's going to try to jump on top of the uh, carcass of the hellhound to use as a platform, like springboard, to hit the thing with this baton that he has, because you said it was on the ceiling, right?
Right, it was crawling up it, so yeah.
And you just hear, "Don't worry, Era, I'll save you from the nasty worm." And
Awesome.
and
Roll and
rolls an attack. That is a 19.
boom! You
Plus
strike
two.
it with the baton. Roll the damage.
All right, the damage is a d6. So 6. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, just got a really good hitting because he hates those bugs.
You whack it hard, and you can feel the baton hit the exoskeleton that it's gotten. It's you can hear a little bits, and you hear a crack resounding as you're hitting it. You hear it as its pinchers move out, and it tries to turn, and you are the only one here, and it's turn, and it tries to chomp down on you. So roll an agility test as you're hitting it and then coming back down, and it's trying to turn its pinchers towards your person.
Okay, so you hear another wildly high-pitched shriek as he rolls a 17 total to get out of the way.
You easily maneuver out of the way of this beast. Everybody aside from you, make a presence test, and just let me know what you get.
16.
19 total.
Dirty 20, sir.
16.
Wow, you all are rolling hot tonight. So all of a sudden, like, you see from the cell on the bottom left, you see this human head pop out and pop back in to the cell. Era, what are you going to do?
Is the Salazarite still there?
Yep.
I'm gonna shoot it. That is a dirty 20.
That hits. Roll the damage.
Another 2.
You blast. You shoot it, and you see a little bit like hit the shell, and it looks like a little chunk falls out of it. Going to torch again, and while you're doing this, is Borg doing anything?
Oh, no, Borg is staying out of trouble.
Okay.
And kind of observing. So I confused Borg and Bert momentarily.
I'm gonna move closer. This fight is costing us in supplies, so I don't want to use all my ammo.
Yeah, I am also going to move closer.
Okay.
I eject my shotgun shell that is spent from it and reload, because it appears it only holds one at a time. And I'm just kind of doing it as I mosey down the hallway. I mean, we've done this enough times. Eyeing this big bug. I keep thinking we should get a dog for the ship. You guys think we should have a dog on the ship? It'd make a great mascot. And that's all I got.
Okay. What's Bert gonna do?
I have the same weapon that Dave has. It says a double-sided bang stick. Does that mean it doesn't have two shells at a time? Because if that's the case, I couldn't have fired.
Oh, that's fine. It's okay. Yeah, no, it's just one shell. It's just one shell at a time. But you can load and shoot. It's okay if you want to.
Right,
I felt like Torch was just doing it for flavor, like walking down moseying down the hall.
A little bit of both.
Right.
So what is still here?
So there's this giant cave spider thing crawling on the ceiling, and you saw a head pop out of one of the cells to the south, or on the bottom, the first cell on the bottom.
Just looking up at this spider. Man, I know what cave spiders look like. I get them in my house. This is terrifying.
Yes.
I'm definitely throwing bones at it, yeah.
Excellent.
That's a six-legged
Roll to hit.
major pincers. I've got a head of one on my wall over here.
Yes.
10 this time.
10 misses. You throw it. Somehow it's like scurrying and moving fast enough away that it dodges what you throw at it.
Don't like that.
No.
Don't like that at all.
Jacob, what are you doing?
Seeing that Torch and Era are, moving about, I'm gonna move with them. But as I'm moving, I am gonna toss one of my, throwing bones at him, just to make my way out. 19, my guy.
That hits.
Easy roller dice, folks.
Roll that damage.
1d4 with presence. Does that mean I add my presence or?
No, that's just presence for the attack.
Okay.
So it's just a d4 for damage.
Oh, then 1 then.
Okay. You throw it and it hits, but then it just kind of bounces off its exoskeleton. For those of you that haven't really played this much, if they have armor, I'm rolling whatever it soaks. So if you hear dice on my side, that's what I'm rolling. So it ting and then falls off.
Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Cyrus, what are you doing?
Is the spider still alive, correct?
Yes.
Then Cyrus is only focused on the spider. That is the entire focus right now. There is no, normally very distracted, but now just hyper focused.
Okay.
That is a 15 plus.
That hits.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 0. I have 0. So,
yeah.
D6 again.
Yeah.
2.
2?
2.
Okay. And as you hit it, it just kind of reverberates and you feel it going back into your arm. And it just something about it. It did not shake this thing at all. And it turns and tries to bite down right on the arm that you just tried to strike it with.
Oh dear.
Roll the agility test. You're the only one that's up close and personal with it. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm also pretty good at agility, so I feel like this is just what he does. Dodging a lot every time we do combat. He's just running around. Yeah, that's a 16 plus 3, so 19.
Yep. Same thing. Easy. Just maneuvering through the mess of these giant mandibles. And as you're doing that, Torch, you see this guy kind of pop his head out. Hey, you got to way off of this thing. And you see somebody that looks really weathered. They've got they look very they're probably in their late 60s. They're wearing just these ragged clothes. They look completely like they've been starved for quite a while, and they've got a couple of IV things poked into their arm, but that have been ripped out. But they still have the ends, the needle still in their arm. You got to way off of this thing.
We might.
Get me out of here.
We might for a price. But hold on. I got to do some exterminating first.
And he just exterminate. Okay. And he kind of goes up against the wall, comes out of the cell, sees the saws right up there, and starts working his way back towards the way that you came in, but completely cling to the wall.
Okay, so without looking back, I just call back to Era. If he tries getting past you, shoot him in the kneecaps.
Okay.
And speaking of that, Era, what are you going to do?
So as I kind of come up, there's 6 open doorways. We've got a person, we've got a hellhound, and we've got a Salzarite. Is there anything else in any of these things?
Nothing coming out. Are you going to go past and actually go into some of the rooms?
I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna look side to side. Come up, look side to side.
Okay. Coming up to the first one, looking the first one on the left. It looks like there's it looks like a cell, but it almost looks like a medical cell. It's very clean. There's bedding, but it doesn't look like there's anyone in here. But there are writings Like it looks like somebody wrote all over every single inch of the wall in this cell. And it looks like some sort of schematics. Looking into the one on the directly opposite, the one that this man just came out of, that was clinging to the walls. This one looks like the bed's been slept in. It looks like it smells a little bit in there of someone that hasn't bathed in quite some time.
So like the rest of us got it.
Right. And that's what you were able to, like, by looking in, you could probably move getting to the next two. The one is where that hellhound creature came out of.
Mm-hmm.
And you see in there, it looks like there's marks and claw marks and things like carved into the walls where it looks like this thing was trapped. There's some fecal matter like in the corners of the room.
Mm-hmm.
To the one on the right, the one down below, it looks like there is somebody laying, like what looks like somebody laying dead on the floor that almost looks slightly mummified.
Okay.
But you can't get to the last two within this round.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Let's see. Torch.
I will. Well, it's not very effective if I try and stab it, so I think I am just going to try to shoot it again. That is that's a funny shape. That's a funny shape. So I think that's a crit.
Did you roll a base symbol?
Yep. If you got a funny symbol, then you got a crit.
All right. So is that just double dice?
Sure. Yep.
Okay, that is 13 points of damage. Boo!
You can describe how you obliterate this thing?
Sure. Yeah, like basically the only thing that's left is the head and the first set of legs. Everything else just blows away.
Excellent. Roll, and also since you just blew it up, roll a d12 for me.
D12. All right. That is a 9.
Okay, thank you. So all of that happens. What is ever? Let's see. So Bert, what are you doing?
Are we still fighting the spider thing?
No, all the things, all those two things are dead. There was the guy that was kind of like edging against the wall, heading towards the direction of your ship.
Yes.
And that's about it that you know of so far.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm just going to keep eyes on that guy.
Okay.
I am now babysitting old prison dad.
Excellent. He's okay. And then what's Jacob doing?
So did I see this walked out dude going towards our ship?
He's what?
That's true.
Excuse me. Thank you. He's like it looks like he's afraid and moving away from where all the bad stuff was happening, and he's working his way down the hall towards where you guys came in. So towards that intersection, yes.
Yeah, I want to catch up to him.
Okay. You gotta way off of this thing? Tell me you gotta way off of this thing.
Buddy, we have lots of ways off this thing. All right? You can either come with us as you are in a body bag, but either which way, you need to tell us what the hell's going on here.
It's not safe. We got to get off this thing. That lady, she keeps sticking me with things. Look at this. And he starts looking like he's got marks all over his arms from where he's been poked. Things have been injected. She keeps testing things on me.
I'm going to take the needles that he still has in his body out of his body the safe way, because I was a bot in a medical facility. I probably know how to do that.
Sure. What do you think you're doing?
Hey, let Bert do his thing, okay?
Okay, yeah, just be careful. Ow!
Be cool, man. Be cool. As I raise my pistol, be cool.
That had about a 15% chance of actually having hurt you.
I'm just. I guess I'm just. Everything hurts. Everything hurts.
I get it, buddy. I get it. Some pretty messed up things going on here, it looks like.
Sir, do you have anything to drink? Got any fire?
Not a drink. I have a sword stogie. I don't know if it does anything for it. No, it's a mechanical cigar. Tastes like fine Cuban. I mean, I let him suck on it a little bit once.
Okay, and he just kind of he just starts piping away on the cigar and kind of backs up against the wall.
Better?
No.
It must be so inconvenient to have a mouth.
I guess we're not all made of bolts. But what are you all doing here? Have you seen her yet?
No.
Seen who?
No.
The doctor.
Not sick.
Doctor.
You want to get off of here. You don't want to make her mad.
Buddy, I feel like we make people mad everywhere we go.
Hold on. What kind of doctor is this? Like, what does she treat?
She's some weird, strange. She's doing experiments. I don't know what she treats. I thought I was getting on this. I thought I was gonna get away with some big haul. I didn't get away.
Oh,
There, big guy. Deep breaths. Deep breaths.
What's this hall you speak of?
This giant container that had to be full of good stuff, right?
That is what we thought.
Mhm.
Is it?
That's what we're here to score.
Not that I saw, but all of my faction got wiped out. Slowly. At least I think so.
You mean there could still be someone alive in here?
Sure. Was there anybody in any of the other cells?
I think anybody is pushing it a little bit.
So is there anything in the last two things if I look?
So the one was the one that the Salzrite came out of, and you see just kind of webbing all throughout, and then the other one is empty.
So is the one in the webbing, is that the last one back on the top?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna step in there and kind of like poke around in the webbing with my my bouncer's club.
Okay.
Hey,
Just in case
Era.
something happens to it, my backup weapon.
Hey, Era. Hold on a second. Let me help you out a little bit. And I have a question for you, GM.
Yeah.
What is an astrosec?
That's a amount of time for space travel. Well, in which in relation to what?
I have a thing that lets me make all tributes light up like beacons, causing all tributes within an astrosec to light up for 4 days.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. Sure.
Can I use that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before Era does that to kind of like, I imagine this is something that he probably does to like help out, just so it's easier to find things and not poke around places there's not going to be anything good. So you will see a familiar thing as Cyrus sort of like pulls up this social media site, and you see like under settings, then he checks beacon, and when it taps that, the screen breaks apart into like little shards and just flies throughout the entire area, and it makes this like bubble that just and everything that is a tribute starts glowing.
Roll a presence test, spend a neuromancy point, and then because that's how that one works. So as long as it works, that's what'll happen.
Does a Nerdarchy symbol do anything special for me in this situation?
Is that on the D20?
Yeah.
Is
it's
that
a
on the
20.
20? It means you crit it, so it definitely it like you see them like flying off in all directions. The sparks. Nothing. Well, I don't know. Roll a D66 to see what is in. See if there's any in this room in particular.
Okay. So I roll a d6 twice, you mean?
Yep, it's like percentile. So
Okay.
decide which one's first and which one's second.
Okay, I'll just go with the first one first and the second one second. So 61.
Yep. 61. So you do not see anything light up in that room. But anything you will like now, if there are tributes somewhere on the ship or anything within the distance of an astrosec for the next roll a d4 to see how many days. For that amount, actually no. Since you crit that, we'll just say for 4 days, they're going to be lit up, including the ones that you have on your person. Anybody that has a tribute on you is now glowing. It's like almost like glow stick glow just around it.
Yeah, my fanny pack is lit up right. Hey, Steven, if you're able to, can you screenshot the map?
Screenshot the map.
So that you have a copy of it?
Yeah. All right, I got it.
All right, Brian, do you want to end the
Sure.
screen sharing?
Boom. Is that better?
Hey.
And boom. All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
And also, everybody make a presence test, and then I know Ted. I know you, Era's still going in to start knocking around some cobwebs. After you do that, each of you roll a d20 as well on top of that. But
Dirty 20.
All right, I have an
20
11
for your presence.
Yeah.
11 for my presence test.
Yeah.
16 for presents.
Okay.
17
I need to make a wish because I rolled 11, 11.
And a 10 followed by my 17.
I rolled a 2 after my.
Okay.
So, and you said I'm rolling a second d20.
Yep.
Is that for my search?
Nope. That's for something else.
It's going to be a 13.
13. And what'd you get for Bert?
For the second roll, a 5.
Yep. 5. Okay. Hang on just 1 second as So everybody that got above a 12 from their presence tests, notice the guy that had come out of the cell just kind of drop Jacob's mechanical stogie to the ground as things are starting to come out of the cells down the hall that were down at the other end of the corridor. They are. Okay. Whoops.
So back in the direction we came, or from the larger room?
Past like you came up the hall and you took a right. There were cells further down that you hadn't explored. So that the larger room has not opened up.
Well, Legionnaires, it looks like we got a party.
Okay. You see coming out, you see two you can see what looks like from that end, it looks like two Grimm walking your way. And for those that don't know what this is, what Grimm look like. They have the pink cracks going through their flesh. Their eyes are a neon blue that are just kind of glowing over, and you just hear them as it's kind of coming down the hallway towards you.
They always make me think Space Zombie, but I've upgraded them to Space Zombie Hive Mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But okay, so Era, you're knocking around the cobwebs and things, and as you're looking around, roll a d66.
That's going to be a 15.
Okay. It's weird that like hung up in the webbing, there's baggies, and the baggies you can see they're clear, they're almost like Ziplocs, and they're different colored hair in these three baggies. One's green, one's purple, and one's brown.
Green, purple, brown.
Yep.
That Slazerite has got some weird fetishes going on.
Did anybody want to? Was anybody else going into any of these cells and looking at any of them?
Yeah, I'll go to the middle one on the left.
I'd probably send Borg in to check things out.
Okay. Like in all the cells, so the one that you went into, it looks like there's the husk of a dead person in like kind of like doctor, like clinical wear, just laying down on the ground. You see the back of them, and they just kind of look almost mummified when you're just glancing at it.
Sad.
Do you get down closer into it? Or
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
as tell me what you do as you're crouching down to see this husk of a person.
So I'm just like just trying to like take my quick question, laser knives, are they like mini lightsabers or whatever, or
It can be like that for you, sure. Why not?
yeah, because I kind of I didn't want to like, because the way I imagined it was kind of like I'm using it in like metal mode, if you will, kind of like
Sure.
poking around,
And
then like I guess when it needs to be a laser knife, flick it on, like
sure.
yeah,
But
like so
well,
I'm like kind of doing that.
as you're poking around and starting to like trying to like move the jacket a little bit, it looks almost like if you've ever seen anything that like a snake that kind of sheds its skin, it looks like there's like an outer coating of this person that's thin and brittle, and what was inside of it is now gone. Either it's found its way out, or it's crystallized and the insides have just kind of disappeared. But kind of poking it a little bit with the knife, you hear a little cracks, like the outside shell is kind of hardened.
I'm digging a little more, like what the hell?
As you like punch a little hole in this, and you realize it's almost like a candy coated shell in there, but there's nothing on the inside.
You know what? I'm gonna cut it open.
Okay. Light it up and start cutting through. You're cutting through, and there's nothing on the inside. This is like the husk of someone.
Candy shell, but no creamy filling.
Exactly. Very disappointing.
Nothing to center that to zero.
Jacob, stop dicking around in there. We got Grimm.
As you say that, the guy that was let out of the cell starts running up the corridor that you had come in, and like that was the center. The door opened up, and he ran straight up to try and get away from the things that are coming your way.
So like,
is he going further into the ship or toward ours?
Further into the ship.
Okay.
That's fine.
I care significantly less about that.
I completely agree with you, Robin.
Absolutely.
I feel like all of us are like, all right, we're shooting out his kneecaps now.
Seriously.
With the other rooms that are right here, are you doing anything? I know, Ted, you had looked in them and you'd seen some writings on one of the wall. Is anybody going into any of the other rooms?
Writing is not profit.
I'm going to duck into one of the rooms in the sense that I'm using it for cover so I can take my shotgun and shoot at the Grimm.
Okay. And which room are you going into?
I will go into the one closest to the intersection we came from on the north.
Okay. So as you go into that, as Torch is in that, let's see. So Era is in one, Jacob's in one. Cyrus and Bert, where are you two?
Cyrus is going to duck into an unoccupied one to try to
Okay.
look for a place to hide because he's kind of used a lot of his stuff, as it were. He's kind of done his job and he's only up close and personal, but he does not want to get close and personal with these. So he's
Okay.
going to try to hide for right now.
Okay. And Bert?
Yeah, according to my character sheet, I really, really hate the Grimm, and they all must go. So I'm standing in the open, preparing to throw a bone.
Okay. As you stand in the open preparing to throw that bone, all of a sudden, the doors start shutting on the cells that everyone else is in. You can make an agility test, but it's going to be actually the only two that can really make an agility test are going to be Cyrus and Torch, because Ezra and Jacob, you were occupied with looking through stuff to try and find things. You can make an agility test to try and jump out through the doorway before it shuts, but otherwise the door is going to be shut.
Frick Borg!
You open doors to some cells and then you go inside of them.
Well, that is a
I didn't.
14.
Right? 14? Okay. Steven, you're muted. What'd you get?
You did not hear my visceral reaction to a 1.
Oh no.
Yep, you just like look up and it just don't even
And
have any
he just
time to
watches it.
react. Yep. Okay, so Dave, Torch is able to get out through the door if you want to. Like
Yeah, he
you
doesn't
have
want to
enough
be locked in
reaction
a
time.
cell.
As you're getting jumping back out, you see the writings that are in this room. Make a presence test and let me know what you get.
That's a 6.
Okay. It just looks like gibberish to you.
I mean, I'm trying not to get locked in a cell.
Yep. So right now we've got Bert and Torch in the hall. Bert further up. Everybody else, you are now locked inside of cells. The cells are kind of how I described them. Although from inside, you can actually, part of the door is actually almost like a one-way, some sort of strange one-way mirror. So you can actually see out into the hall. You can see what's going on and see the Grimm working their way towards your fellow Legionnaires.
Oh shit!
So, what kind of doors are they? Are they like prison cells? Like you could try to reach out and fire a shotgun, or is this a?
No, they are solid. They're like some solid, strange material that looks like a metal of some sort, but there's definitely some sort of different technology to them that's allowing you to see through part of it.
I will be busting out my laser torch. Seems like a good time to use it, certainly.
Yeah.
Never leave home without it. Shit.
Right?
It's a DR12 test, it looks like.
Yeah. Let's do individual initiatives, and I'll let you all take a round before the Grimm get to you because they're moving down the hall, but you still have a round to do everything. So roll a d20 and add your agility to it.
13.
Okay.
Also a 13.
17.
I can't roll with crap now. I got a 2 + 3 for 5 again.
Sir.
Yeah, you're the agile guy.
I know. I'm just.
What about?
I rolled
think
a
I
dirty
have
0.
The PTSD from the bug is really getting to him.
Well, at least the dirty 0 is for initiative and not for something else.
Right?
Okay. Era, what are you doing? Oh, wait. Era disappeared. We'll come back to Era. Bert, what are you? Oh, no. Okay. What's Era doing?
Eric can't do anything, so he's kind of looking to see if there's anything else in here that might be useful for getting out, getting away.
So it's weird. Like as you're looking around, you realize that in the bag of one of the bags of hair, you see like a card in it, and it's weird. It's a frequent fueler card from Guthrie's Fuel and Fix. and it's got 7 out of 10 holes punched in it.
Well, I'm pocketing the bags, which would include the cart as well.
Okay.
I mean, you're 3 away from a free fuel up, so
Right.
Waste not, man.
Bert, what are you going to do?
I am going to throw them a bone.
Excellent.
Oh, I not 20'd.
Oh, fantastic.
Apparently, Bert is really, really not into this.
No. Go ahead and roll the damage, and you can do the double damage.
Cool. That is going to be 6.
Bam. You throw it, and somehow it just like goes right into one of its glowing eyes, and you see it and splatter and sputter everywhere, and it's kind of its head goes to the side, but it is still working its way your way.
Witness me.
Torch, what are you going to do?
All right, Bert, it looks like it's me and you time to do the heavy lifting. I'm also going to shoot at the one with the star in its eye. Well, that's in that one, and I think I'm going to turn in my favor
Excellent.
to turn that to a 17
Nicely done. Roll the damage.
for 8 points of damage to the one that just took 6.
And that one falls to the ground. And as it does, you both see this worm. You're fairly familiar with the different types of worms. You see a Nerdarchy worm. These are the brain worms, like crawl out of its head, and it starts slithering its way along the floor, working its way towards you.
Forget it, Worm. You're going to starve over here.
Cirrus, what are you doing from inside your cell? And you are muted.
You're muted.
There we
on,
go.
Sirius.
Sorry. I'm bad. I would like to look around and see if there's a way for me to plug in to the mainframe.
Okay. Roll a presence test for looking around to see if see if you can find a way to pull a panel off the wall or something.
14 plus 0. 14.
Okay. Well, you see that there is a part of a panel that you could probably pry off the wall and then hot wire into it. Into some of the wiring because of where you've logged in before.
Okay. So I'll try to start working on that.
Okay. It's just going to take you this round, and next round you'll be able to try and hotwire in. And because you were so successful last time, you'll be able to do that when trying to connect in with advantage. So you'll just to try and do it that way. So that brings us to what's Jacob doing with the carcass on the ground?
I mean, I don't think I.
Oh no, you were going to start cutting, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would love to be out, but
Yeah, this is going to take a little while to be able to cut. How big of a hole are you trying to cut in there?
The laser tour says it cuts through 3 feet of 5-inch thick metal.
Okay, every round, right? So how big do you want to do? Do you want to do like 2 feet, 1 foot? Do you want to do 3 feet up? Like, how big and bulky do you see your character being, and what do you think you can fit through?
Damn, he has hella shoulders. He has hella shoulders, man. He's like kind of like jack, so it might take him a minute to cut through.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
All
okay.
right.
So you're slowly cutting through that. Now we still have the individual initiative, but let's see. Since Bert's so anti-Grimm, will you roll a d6 and just let me know what you get, and then we'll see if you will get to go. If you all get to go. 6. Okay. So, Era, is there anything that you're trying to do from within the cell at all?
Nope.
Okay. So Bert, you throwing another bone?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to hit this time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw them.
And the miss. And let's see, what's Torch doing?
Torch is firing away. Also missing.
All right. bringing us to Cirrus, who's hacking into the system.
Yep. I want to try to hack into the system.
Okay.
So I'm rolling twice and take a higher.
Yep.
Okay. So that's probably my lower. Yep, that was definitely my lower. So 17 plus 0. 17.
Okay. That you hack in, and what are you attempting to do?
I would like to see if there's any defense systems that I can enable to help them from in here.
Let's see. There.
Like
There
that
are
sterilizer? Can you sterilize worms?
I was going to ask if I could also sterilize them, maybe.
Yep. So not that you can see as far as, like, it seems like the corridor that you came into where there was the doors on either side. It looks like the entryways have that sterilization area.
Uh-huh.
But not in this main hall. Everything just has ways to shut down and lock down the corridors and lock down the doors, but there are no actual like weapons. Like you could the best thing that you think that you might be able to do is try to lock down the corridors and open up the duct, one of the doorways to vent everything out that's in the open corridors, but that would get rid of 2 of your legionnaires.
Yeah, not gonna do that yet. That's like our last resort. So I would like to I don't know. I think I'm gonna look for a security system actually and see what else is going on in this place besides this.
Well,
Okay.
only one of the legionnaires breathes, so I mean, keep that in mind.
Yep,
It's true.
Yep. Looking around and looking at the trying to find cameras, it looks like there is definitely a camera on the hall and all of the individual cells that there are, and there are cameras in to the bridge, which is up in the front of the ship. There's a camera into the kind of mess hall, and then there's a camera into the 2 storage rooms, and then one in the lab. And you see a woman frantically clicking, like touching a computer screen, trying to override, do something with the computer devices. She looks like she's wearing a medical jacket, and she looks like she's probably in her late 40s. Her hair's kind of curly and frazzled out, and it looks like from the background you can see like big containment tubes in the room. It looks like she's in some sort of lab.
Okay, this will probably be my next round later, but I want to try to lock her out of the system.
Okay. Very good. Jacob, you are still cutting. It's going to take one more turn to cut all the way through. And then we are going to go to the one Grimm that's left. Let's see. Because both Bert and Torch are in the room, the Grimm is going to go for Torch because Torch is a meatbag. So, Torch, would you make an agility test versus, or just do an agility test? It is trying to come at you with just trying to punch at you.
So that's a 19 on the die. I only needed, what, a 12?
Yeah.
But it's a 14 because of my armor, but I should still do it.
Yeah, that still does it just fine. And so are you in a full mech suit? I can't remember.
No, I'm not in a mech suit. Matter of fact, he looks like he's just wearing coveralls, but as he moves around, you can see underneath he's got fiber mesh armor.
Okay. Well, so he's like, it's coming in quick, trying to grab at you. You dodge out of the way very easily, but roll a d6 anyway.
I'd rather not. That's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, because like spit's coming out of it, all sorts of nasty things are making its way towards your insides or trying to. That brings us to Era. Hanging tough?
Yeah, is the door still closed?
Yeah, nobody opened it up.
Is I know the Salzarite was in here. Is there a cot anyway?
There is, yes.
All right, I'm gonna put my feet up.
Okay, excellent.
What I will do is I will train my double-sided bang stick at the doorway in case something decides it's gonna open up. but is a hostile.
I just envision you like lounged out with your legs crossed and your double-sided bang screen, the muzzle of it just resting on your toes.
Yeah,
at the door.
that would be perfect.
Excellent. Bert, what are you doing?
Continuing to throw the bones.
Okay, so now it is within like close combat range. Like it moved up. It's you and Torch are next to each other. So like, if you want, you can just do a strength test with the bone because it's close enough to just kind of jab into it.
I actually get a better roll if I still use presence and throw it.
Gotcha. So if you want to step out of the way, like if you want to work your way backwards in the hall or towards the direction it came from.
Yeah, I moonwalk back a couple steps and pop one off.
Excellent.
14.
That hits. Roll the damage.
2.
It sinks in and it is slowing down, and it just kind of turns its attention towards you for a second. Torch, what are you doing?
I'm going to break off in the other direction,
Mm-hmm.
and I roll a 10, but I think if I turn in a favor, right, I can change that
You can adjust it by 4.
by 4 and make it a hit.
Okay.
4 or 5.
And what were you shooting it as you ran, or were you hitting it? Okay.
Yeah, shooting it with the shotgun.
Okay. As you're walking away, and you see like its just head explode as it falls back in the direction of where Bert was, or where Bert was heading. So like Bert's going back, you're going the other direction. It just falls down to the ground.
I'm like, where Bert was? What happened to him?
Yeah, Bert just walked back. That's all. So you managed to do that. And Cirrus, what are you doing? You're trying to fight off trying to block the software.
Yeah, I'm trying to lock her out of the systems.
Okay.
Because at this point, because I'm easily distracted, I'm now focused on tech. And I'm like getting her locked out so she can't hurt anybody.
Okay. Roll a d20 and add your presence modifier and let me know what you get.
Oh no, I rolled a 1.
So as you're trying to lock her out, she flips it on you and actually locks you out of the system.
Shit.
And all of a sudden you start seeing all sorts of like numbers going across your screen, and things are like it's getting weird symbols coming up that you've never seen before.
He's gonna pull out, and so she can't mess with his biotech.
Okay.
He's just gonna
Sounds like you pulled out too late, though. Happens to all of us at one point or another. I look at the dead dog thing.
And
turn to Bert. What do you think? Should we get a dog for this ship? As I walk over to the control panels to see if there's any way to open these from the outside.
Well, you're looking at the control panel, and you can try to. Which control panel are you at?
The one that doesn't have fire coming out of it. I'll go to the one that the spider came out of.
Gotcha. So you're going over to that, and at the end of this round, Jacob, you'll have cut enough of a hole to kick your way through. Make a presence test, Dave, for Torch for trying to figure out how to get through this system.
Oh, that's appropriate. A 1.
We were rolling so good earlier.
It seems that everything is completely locked down. And all of a sudden you hear coming over the intercom, "I don't know what you think you're doing in my facility. What are you doing letting out my subjects and then killing them? Do you have any idea what you could have unleashed on the universe?"
No, but we're working on that. Hey, can you let Borg out?
Borg?
Yeah,
man, you better
got yay big rat wings.
No, I must contain everything at the moment and see what has been contaminated. So many variables have been thrown into my experiments that I'm going to have to ask each of you to stay in one of these fine rooms until I can get things sorted.
Yeah, I think I'll
So
stay in the
this is
wall
the
with a
game
big
we're
hole in
playing.
it.
What did you say for Bert?
I said, oh, this is the game we're playing then.
I do not need you, bot. I have no desire to try and test anything on bots. I just have the rest of them could have gotten infected. You wouldn't want to be infected, would you? I'm trying to come up with cures.
I cannot be infected, in fact.
Very good. Is there something I can offer you for your assistance?
In catching my friends, no, there really isn't.
You want to
That's
make sure that
cute.
they're safe, right? You want to make sure that they're not contaminated, and you don't want them to
Oh no,
die
we
horrible
saw what you
deaths.
did to prison, Dad.
Oh, prison dad?
Yes.
He came to steal my things.
Yeah, you poked him full of holes.
Yes. Wouldn't you poke holes in things that come to creatures that come to steal your things?
Only
Yeah,
only
but
enough
the holes
holes.
that I'd poke in them wouldn't leave them alive and still bleeding.
Well, there's issues that have arisen, so
I turn to Jacob. I guess we got to do this the hard way, bud. You want to keep cutting?
Yeah, so literally.
Start with this one, and I point to the cell Borg's in.
I'm gonna pull out my own laser flashlight and hand it to Torch.
So,
Nice.
assuming Era's in there. Don't worry, buddy, we'll get you out.
and both Era and Cirrus, you're hearing this communication over the speakers. It's going to all the rooms that you are all you are all in, the rooms and the hall.
I'm just, kipped up on the cot, ready to fire if, whatever mysterious chick he decides to enter into this cell to test me.
Please stop damaging my doors. I need those to keep things sanitary. What can I offer you to have you stop?
Missy, you could drop dead for all I care. As I continue cutting.
All of a sudden,
got
the
to
door, the door that Era's in opens up. As you're, it just slides open.
What do you got to offer?
Well, let's see. I have some decent food that's kept for quite some time. You could just leave. I've got some egg sacs. I don't have a whole lot that I think you would want. I don't know why you came aboard my vessel.
What kind of food are you talking about? You're not talking about those little tube things, are you?
No, definitely not. This is freeze dried. This is not just that slop in those tubes.
Valuableness, ma'am. You have any biogel? The kind used for experiments?
I've got lots of things in my lab for experiments, but I need all of that so that I can try and find a cure.
Well, you see, this is where we reach our impasse. We came here for valuable things.
Well,
She already
said that she, tortures people that, come to steal their stuff. So
it's not a very funny joke, Jacob.
So
I don't torture. I was trying to find a cure.
All right. Can we meet face to face and negotiate?
I will negotiate with one of you, but I need to see you leave your weapons.
Well, she can't infect me with anything.
I don't think she wants to infect anyone.
No, I don't want to infect anyone.
Well, you have to infect them if you're going to cure them.
Well, I just need to take specimens and run some tests and see what will work and what won't.
those Grimm, were they Grimm before that you got a hold of them?
Yes, of course.
Is she lying? Or do we think she's lying?
You
I think
can.
she's lying.
Her voice definitely changed a little bit when she said it, so that's up to you whether or not you think she's lying.
I got a
I
better
definitely
idea.
think
Let's
she's
play.
lying.
Let's play a game, good old fashioned game of hide and seek. You're it. We're gonna come find you.
Oh,
And
That's
literally,
not how it works.
so like, by the way, I'm just playing true to my character. He's really crash and intense. Jacob, I auto-generated it. It is what it is.
yep.
But
yep.
so like, let's just say as he asked for a specimen, he's like, "Yeah, I left some specimens for you back there in that cell." Things that I can't say on stream.
Well, I guess when you're in times of stress, people do strange things.
Speaking of strange things, Cyrus has been doing a little program on this neon monitor that's like a hollow screen and been like making pixel art, and then we'll flip it around so that it shows to the camera in the cell, and it's just like two big middle fingers in pixel art.
Light bright.
Exactly. And,
Well,
and like and when they push a button, then it will like start like changing colors and like dancing.
With that attitude, you can stay in that cell for quite some time.
Sure, he will. Has him
Somebody
Or,
give me
you
the
know.
torch laser.
hand over the torch.
As soon as you start torching, the door just opens up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, you don't
Please
want
stop destroying my ship.
Please
Well,
stop
stop locking up my
Cassidy.
friends.
And
I want my friends, and I want prison grandpa.
How about if you and your
Prison
friends
daddy.
can take prison grandpa and go back the way you came, and we will just call it a wash.
I mean, it really sounds like all we got to do is threaten to damage your ship, and you just do what we want.
I need the cells to remain sterile and places that I can continue my experiments. Do you not know that I'm doing this for the betterment of humanity?
All right, so all
Newsflash. I think humanity and the universe is about to end anyway. So
So how about this? All the crap that you've taken from your experiments that haven't survived, what do you got lying around that you don't need? We can just take off your hands and we'll go.
Well, there is a room filled with things that I do not need, and there's 2 large crates and a small crate, and you can just take them and be on your way.
That sounds like a win-win to me.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, but it's still the matter of your sick experiments costing me 4 bullets. You know how valuable a bullet is?
Well,
I use 4.
We can see.
How about what's that?
How about we just see what's here before you start complaining, there, Jacob?
All right.
Or Jacob, how about you come and negotiate with me? Leave your friends to get the haul,
I didn't expect this. DM, you
and
caught
I
me off
will
guard.
I will give you something to compensate for the 4 bullets while they're getting the rest of the cargo.
That thing is dysentery. She's going to give you dysentery.
Right? Right? Like, literally. So, one, Brian, great job. You really scared the shit out of me just now with that offer. Legitimately. Second, Jacob's gonna say, like, I'm inclined to listen to my comrade over here. Let's see what's in these crates. But, you know, if there's some complaints, I'll let you know.
Cyrus.
Fine. Roll a d6 if you would, Carlos.
Yes, sir. I got a Uno.
Okay.
Cyrus,
Thank you.
yeah.
did you do that thing that you always do when you go plugging in more willy nilly?
Well, I tried and she like locked me out because she's lame.
But you're in there for a little bit. Did you do that other thing you always do?
Oh yeah, I totally put like 2 little middle finger insignias in the binary, just like right in the middle. Or is that not what you're talking about?
I meant the thing where you download the schematics.
Oh yeah, I already did that. Here, I got it right here. I snapped it. And like he'll pull it up on the screen and like send it to Torch on his social media app, and it will say pending friend request still.
He wouldn't download a car.
Guys, I worked on this app. Come on,
Oh,
download
here.
it.
And he sends it to everybody. He's like, but you have to accept my friend request to be able to see it.
Buddy, do you know where she's at on there?
Oh yeah, right here, and just points.
All right, I will start double timing in that direction.
Oh wait, hold on, and running after him.
So you're just running straight down the hall, like at the end where the cells are,
Yeah.
and there's the door that's at the dead end, and that's exactly where you're running to. And as you're running down, like, so you're taking the lead, you're running down, and as soon as you're getting right towards the end, the door opens up. Is everybody following Torch?
Mm-hmm.
I so don't trust this, but yes.
Okay.
Do or die, right?
As you so you get to the door, what are you doing? The door's opened up. It's you see light, a bright light white coming from this room, like looking from the hall into the room. You see it looks like there's grates on the floor. It looks like a very clean, sterile sort of environment for lab testing. You see at the far end of the room some sort of big cabinet, but it's hard to tell from the hall exactly what's in the room.
Dive into the room, combat roll behind one of the crates.
Okay. So as you dive into the room, make an agility test
That's
to
not
do what
too
you
bad.
wanted
13.
to do. Okay. You start rolling into the room, and as you roll into the room, everybody else, tell me the order that everybody was in. Who would have been right after Torch?
I imagine probably Cyrus, because I just
Okay.
ran as soon as he ran.
Uh-huh. And then who would have been following Cyrus?
I imagine Bert, honestly,
Okay.
Bert?
because
Okay.
I would be interested in the loot that I think it's there. But
Okay. So who's last? Era or Jacob?
I think I would be, unfortunately. Because I remember I'm like digging into the shit. Like,
I don't think we got this shit yet.
Yeah, we were still
Oh, no.
outside the cells.
it's a
Yeah,
loaded grenades! Boom!
So you're running, you're barreling straight through. As you roll, making another agility test, because ahead of you, Cyrus, you see like coming down from the ceiling above this what looks like a somebody in a doctor's cloak, but they have these strange leg claw things that have sprouted out from their back, and you hear them popping out as it leaps down from the ceiling towards Torch. What'd you get for your?
That's an
honestly
8, and I'm going to let it ride.
I
Okay.
honestly didn't know if that was a description or if that was Brian going into a beatbox.
You'll start rapping on stream.
So as you're rolling, she flies down from the ceiling, and these pincher-like legs go right into your side, taking D6 damage. So roll a D6. Actually, no, 2d6, because one for each. Roll 2d6 and then roll whatever your armor soaks.
All right, so that's 7. My ride helmet will soak 1, bringing it down to 6. And then I roll a d4.
Okay.
And I rolled a 1.
Or you could just destroy your helmet and have it absorb all of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to trash the helmet, I think.
Okay. Well, lucky for you, it started with a riot helmet, and the helmet shatters as these 2 claws smash into it. And as that happens, the rest of you, as you're coming into the room, you see her head whip up and look back at you. And it's like her eyes have gone completely black. and she's got it's almost what would have been a human face looks like it's morphed and contorted and twisted, almost making some sort of shapes that give it very bug-like features. Let's see. So, Torch, roll a d6 for initiative for everybody to see if she goes first or you go first, because
She goes
that
first.
was kind of okay. Well, since everybody roll your individual initiative, so we know after she goes who gets what.
7.
Dirty 20.
4.
That's a 4.
19 minus 2, 17.
Okay. So she is going to try to attack again with the 2 claws. Roll an agility test. Roll it with disadvantage because she's on top of you.
Okay, well, let's see. That's either a 2 or a 11.
I think we lost the Torch.
Yep. So Torch, roll the 2d6. Roll your armor to soak.
Oh my god, that is 10 damage. What can I do with favors again?
So you can spend a favor to roll to soak to negate d6 damage.
I will spend my last favor to soak damage.
Or you could use it to re-roll the dodge, but I don't think it's.
But I'm
with
going to
rolling the 11 for the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll it at disadvantage. So, okay, so I soak 5 of that 10, and that leaves me dead.
Could I spend one of my favors to help him soak?
I already said.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
All right. So that's another 3. So that's 8. So I only take 2. Which means I'm down to 2.
Okay.
About to say, buddy, make it count. It's like
I got this bitch right where I want her.
So that brings us to let's see, Cyrus, you got the initiative.
Okay, she's a bug. I'm gonna try to squish her. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
That is appropriate. That is absolutely appropriate. Can you see it?
Another crit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nerdarchy end.
Sweet.
Roll the double damage, and it negates or drops her armor class or her armor tier down by 1.
Yeah, you hear this high-pitched shriek from down the hall and a crunch as I do 10 total, because it's just 2d6, right?
Yep.
And then also I have a special thing with my thing where on a crit I break a bone.
Ooh, yes. Which bone do you want to break?
Her face bone.
Excellent.
So you just break one of those stabby ones.
Yeah, I'll break one of the weird stabby legs. How about that? That
okay.
works.
So you come in hard with this, and it just you hear a satisfying crunch as so many things shatter and break, and she just slumps down on top of Torch and is not moving at all.
I don't trust it. I keep hitting. Like I am beating that dead horse.
Okay, so you're still standing over hit wailing. Let's see.
Yeah,
So
if she's on top of Torch, Torch is probably feeling it a little bit, but not damaging, hopefully.
And then, so Jacob, what's Jacob doing?
Well, I'm gonna be busting out my energy sword because now's like a good time to get the hackings.
Oh my god!
Okay.
My legion's gonna kill me.
So there's this immobile person on top of Torch. Tell me how you're using the sword, just so I have a better idea of how this is going down. And it's like a lightsaber kind of thing.
Okay, so like, can I assume like how big this is, like covering, like directly a human, like same exact size on top of him?
Right. Yeah. Pretty much. Yep.
Oh shit!
With the extra appendages, with the extra legs. I mean, you could probably like kick kick her off and then do it if you wanted to do it that way.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely would have just stabbed straight through him multiple times.
Right through. Through the abdomen. It's like, no. No. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Kind of.
Okay.
Boom. And
Okay.
then,
I'm not. You don't have to roll for this because she's not dodging or anything like that. Just tell me. So you just jab into her once she's kicked off of Torch.
yeah.
Okay. Roll damage for that.
Okay. It's going to be a 6.
Okay. Excellent. And then what is Bert doing?
I have an encrypted tribute dewormed. A creature of your choice will have the worm inside of them expelled.
Excellent. Okay, so you're going to use that on her. Okay. So to do that, you roll a presence test. You spend a neuromancy point. I believe as an emobot, I think you fail on a not just a 1. It's slightly lower.
No, it's 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Okay, yep.
Things are bad.
Yep. Excellent.
Yes, fortunately I rolled an 8.
Which is still a fail, unless you want to spend a favor, because it's a difficulty of 12. If you spend a favor, you can adjust it by 4, which will make it succeed.
I'm gonna do that. I have a favor.
Excellent. You do that, and like all of a sudden you see like she's laying there. She's been hit with the baton. She's been jabbed with the electrosword, and you just see like crawling out of one of the open areas, a Nerdarchy brain just starts to slide down and starts working its way. It's probably about this big, and it's just slithering and starting to work its way away from all of this action.
I just want to drop my shotgun in that direction and then pull the trigger.
Well, you can go next. So yeah, you want to try and shoot it?
Yeah.
Okay, roll to hit.
Oh, the dice are not in my favor. That's a 4.
And nothing.
Blow off my ankles.
Era, what are you doing?
Well, we don't want this worm around, so I will shoot it instead.
Okay.
I'm going to turn in a favor to reroll that.
Okay.
That is significantly better. It's a presence test, so an 18.
Excellent. You shoot it and that roll the damage.
It's going to be 3.
That worm just splatters everywhere.
Am I able to look around the room as well, or is that my action?
Well, the combat is kind of done. Like the doctor is not moving whatsoever. So as long as you are free to do whatever, you're free to look around.
All right. So
I mean, hell, we might as well take the ship.
As Cirrus kind of had started off once we got here, it kind of sent out all of these lights. Is there anything glowing in the room?
There is indeed glowing from as now that you actually have a moment to like breathe and kind of look. You see from the kind of cabinets, almost like lockers on the right hand side or the northern side. You see a slight glow coming from there, and there is a tribute there. Now, tributes, most of the time, you don't actually, unless you spend time trying to decrypt them and understand what they do, you don't know what they do until you do that or you use it. So you have an unknown tribute. Now, I know we're supposed to generally play for 2 hours, which is right about 10:30 now. You defeated the strange doctor that was on this ship. You now have, if you want, you have this massive, strange container ship instead of the bus that you had. And you can learn more about this on a future installment if we ever want to play again sometime and pick up here, or we can do some quick synopsis to say what you would have found and what you would have discovered while on the ship.
I'm game for either.
I think it'd be kind of fun to leave off with us like we just took over the ship and now we're going to figure out how to tow our bus, and we got all this stuff to explore.
Awesome, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to end it as well, because this is actually part of a series of adventures that have not really been written yet. So it could easily be playing the next one if you'd like to. So
Awesome.
Cool.
awesome, you guys. That was a lot of fun. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you for running.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
thank you. Always love those Brian games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for scaring me.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I
I'm
know,
glad.
very freaky.
Just real quick, everyone, there are links in the description. You can sign up for Wormfest for free. It's an online convention. If you were here in the beginning, you saw us kind of walking through the online convention, the virtual space. It's really fun. It's kind of cool. Let's see. I will switch us back to it a little bit. And if I can get to the right screen. So you guys can kind of see we're sitting in the gaming room. And really, you guys can experience this for yourselves and play Vast Grimm. And I think maybe other games will be being played as well, like pickup games and stuff.
Sure. There's going to be open. There's going to be slotted games, but it's going to be open so that whoever comes to the games first will be able to get to play at those games. You can find all of that at vastgrim/Wormfest, and there's a schedule there of what we've got on the schedule so far. And I'm going to keep adding more events, more panel discussions, and more games leading up until November 12th and 13th. But there will be the open game rooms in all of the other areas so that people can come in and run whatever they want. It's Vast Grimm focused, but we're welcoming any games that people want to run. We want people to just come, play, hang out, make new friends, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, myself will be there Saturday, and Ted will be there Sunday, kind of hanging out in the vendor room. We might sneak off to run some games, maybe of Zoo Mafia. That'd be
awesome.
Might be fun. Maybe we'll do a zoo in space. Who knows?
Yes.
Well,
I mean, there's got to be zoos in space, right?
There's got to be zoos in space.
That was an episode of Star Trek.
Are there people in the space zoo? Like, is the space zoo for aliens?
I don't know. We have to figure that out.
knows?
I mean, you just came up with it.
Well, I mean, we do have the zoo adventure in the store.
Written by Robin.
Awesome.
I've run that several times at D&D in a Castle. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out. And always, Brian, it's a pleasure to have you run for us.
Thank you for having me.
I've played quite a few games of Vast Grimm at this point. They're always fun. It's a blast. It's a super easy system, but you just dive in and have fun. Thank you, Stephen and Robin and Carlos, for all hanging out with us. And until next time, guys, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.